Good morning. My mom and I are up here at the Bear Lake Trailhead, located inside Rocky Mountain National Park. And today we're going to go for Embryo Lake. We're at least going to get Embryo Lake. Maybe go to some other locations, not really sure yet, but we're for sure going to hit up Embryo. Official start time, 6:30. And once again, we're going to start up here at the Bear Lake Trailhead so we can get a little bit of downhill at the beginning. And then we'll probably end up at the Glacier Gorge Trailhead and ride the shuttle bus back. And check it out, we've got some baby deer crossing the trail in front of us with mama deer. There they go, up the hill. Hey guys, it's going to be a nice day today. And then look at mama deer right here. She's looking really skinny. You need to eat something. I can see your ribs poking out. We've got the sun just now rising, and it should be a beautiful morning. I don't know what the afternoon is going to be like, but it should be nice and clear this morning. It is a little chilly though. My hands are cold. And we're going to skip the fire trail on the way up and instead go by way of Alberta Falls. However, we will be taking the fire trail on the way back because it avoids all the crowds. And we're up here, Alberta Falls. And this thing is always flowing. Although this main trail is a little longer, roughly 6/10 of a mile longer, it is a much better trail. It's a lot smoother. It's not nearly as rough as the fire trail, and it's not as steep either. However, you will see people on this trail over here, for sure. And this is another bonus if you come up the main trail. You get these awesome views along here. Yeah, you don't get these if you come up the fire trail. And look at that blue sky this morning. That's what I'm talking about, baby. And in an hour and 10 minutes, we made up to the Loch Mills Junction. And when we take the fire trail, we can usually get up here in under 50 minutes. So yeah, that fire trail knocks a big old chunk of time off. We're getting pretty close to the loch up there. And this is going to be the Icy Brook, which is running off of it. And this is a really pretty spot. And the original plan today was to just take it out to Embryo Lake for a nice little short one. However, now we're discussing just taking it all the way out to Sky Pond. I mean, it's a perfect day out here today. Not a ton of people on the trail. So it's like now is as good a time as any to go do it. Why not? It's just now 8:05. So that took us an hour and 35 minutes to get up here to the loch. Beautiful. Just hold on a quick second and I'll get you some better views. And there it is. That's the shot. And there's virtually no wind right now. This would be the perfect day to take it on up to Sky Pond. Yeah, sometimes you get up here and you just get smashed by the wind. And this is going to be my 4th Sky Pond video. The first time we did it was like way back in like 2017 or 2018. And that was one of my more successful videos because I think at the time I was the only one that had a Sky Pond video. Then we did it a couple years later in the winter and everything was white, so it looked completely different. And then the third time we did it was just a couple years ago. However, it was super dark and windy that day, and that really wasn't the best video. So we're gonna nail it today. We got the perfect blue skies, low wind, and it appears that we're beating the crowds out there. And this hike up to Sky Pond isn't super duper hard. It's a solid one, but it's not too crazy. It's not like hiking out to Bluebird or something like that. And then right here at the bridge, right next to the Andrews Creek campsite sign, is where we're gonna split off on the way back and head over to Embryo Lake. So if you want to see the super secret way to get over there, you're gonna have to watch until the end of the video. And don't be that person that just skips ahead. Come on. Come on. And we're coming up to the hardest part of the hike, and that is getting up and over Timberline Falls. It's pretty steep through here. It's more or less straight up, and you don't really climb up the waterfall itself. You climb over to the side of it. But yeah, this part right through here is pretty steep, lots of steps. But once you get up and past the waterfall, you're there. The rest of it's not too bad at all. And this is going to be the crux of the hike, by far. Getting up right through there is a little tricky. My mom's already up there. Holy shit. We're going to have to edit that out. But I about fell backwards just now. And that's looking up at the next part. And I think we're just about up there. All right, we're looking good. And once you make it up and over the top, you get Lake of Glass. And I can't even count the amount of times that I've gotten up here and then just been smashed by the wind. But not today. There's no wind. And then from here on out, there is some route finding involved. We're taking it alongside the Lake of Glass, and the next destination is Sky Pond. I wonder how many people get up to this lake and mistake it for Sky Pond. I'm sure it happens. Yeah, this is probably one of the most overlooked lakes in Rocky, just because it's so close to Sky Pond. But this is beautiful up here. Amazing. And that's not the place that you want to fall off. And Sky Pond is just right out there. It's not too far at all. And we're back in the sunshine. All right. This is gonna be mind-blowing out here. This is the first epic hike that I ever did, and it made me fall in love with hiking. I remember I got up here and I couldn't believe places like this existed. I just thought it was the most unbelievable thing I'd ever seen. I remember saying that I want my ashes thrown here. And yeah, from that moment on, I was a hiking addict. My mom knows the way. And there's another waterfall over there. Yeah, this upper level, once you get past the waterfall, is incredible. And this is the final little push up to Sky Pond. Just got to knock out these few steps right here. It's not bad at all. And that's looking back at where we've come from. And this is it, Sky Pond. And of course we have the people that have to take all their clothes off and get in the water. Yep, just sitting and looking at the water's not enough. You got to get in it. And look at that blue sky back there. Amazing. Yeah, this is a pretty scenic lake. This is one of the top ones in Rocky Mountain National Park. and we're dipping our feet in. It is just now 9:40, and I think we've been up here for a good 10 minutes or so. So that took about 3 hours. And there are quite a few people up here right now. And we've been sitting up at Sky Pond for about 30 minutes or so. But my God, there are a ton of people up here. So we think we're gonna start heading on back, and we're gonna go over to the next destination, Embryo Lake. And then that's where we're gonna really relax, boil up some tea, eat some cheesy smiles, finish it off with some cinnamon chip churro strips. That's what I'm talking about. Sky Pond is an amazing destination. I just couldn't believe the amount of people up there. It was like Camp Sky Pond or something. No joke, I'm guessing 20 to 30 people, easy. We're coming back around by Lake of Glass, which is actually looking even more beautiful now that it's got some sunshine on it. Yeah, this is just amazing up here. You cannot go wrong with Lake of Glass and Sky Pond. And on the way back, you want to take it up to the left of the Devil's Ears right here. And on the way down, we decided to come around the corner and get some shots of Timberline Falls. And I think this is one of the coolest waterfalls in Rocky Mountain National Park. Yeah, this is totally awesome right here. And that's looking back down onto the Loch, and we can actually see Embryo Lake. See this boulder sticking up right here? There's water just to the right of it. And the amount of people coming up this trail right now is crazy. The amount of them from the waterfall up is even more crazy. Yeah, there was a big old log jam. Just people going up, coming down, going up, coming down, going up, coming down. Yeah, I'm glad we're through that part. I remember how cool we thought we were when we first did Sky Pond. Yeah, someone could have been like, we just did the Glacier Traverse, and we would have been like, yeah, we don't even know what that is. Have you ever heard of Sky Pond? We just did it. But this right here is where we're going to split off the trail and take it over to Embryo Lake. Right over here on the east side of the bridge. Yeah, you don't want to do it on the other side. That's what we did last time when we ran into problems. Nope, right here. And there's actually a little social trail. My mom just cut it short there. All right. This shouldn't be too difficult. I'm just so glad to be off that main trail. My God, that thing is busy. Just a constant flow of people. But right here on this big rock is where we had taken it over last time. And this worked out pretty well. Boom. And the adventure continues. I'm pretty sure I got this routed on my GPS, but before I look at that, I'm going to try and do it off memory. Yeah, I think we want to take it right through the trees here. Yeah, this is looking good. This is looking good. And when you make it out to this little pond with the hay floating in the middle of it, that's probably grass, hang a left and continue to fight your way through the trees. Right through here. Yeah, and you can tell no one's been out here because there are spider webs all over the place. Spider web man, break 'em with your face. Yeah, I think we're gonna get the water like right here. Yep, I see it. I see it. And just know that if you stick your poles out of the top of your backpack, they're gonna get caught on everything. Boom. Embryo Lake. And we're gonna take it over here to the left, which would be the east. And I believe this is that big boulder we could see sticking up through the trees. Yeah, this is the spot right here. This is the spot. Embryo Lake with Timberline Falls up there. And although Embryo Lake isn't near as epic as Sky Pond, there's no one down here. And we've got this whole place to ourselves. And finally, you know what time it is up here at Embryo Lake. It's tea time. It's about 11:40. I think we've been sitting up here at Embryo Lake for about 40 minutes or so. But it's time to go. It's time to head on back. And that was the rock that we were chilling on right up there. And check out how close this is to that little pond right there with the grass floating in it. It's right there. If you don't want to do the big rock and you think that's too hard, you can go down there where my mom is and walk across those rocks. And that looks pretty easy. It's just a little out of the way. Passing back by the Loch on the way back. And just to clear up any confusion, this is not called Loch Vale. Loch Vale is the area that the Loch, Lake of Glass, and Sky Pond are located in. Kind of like how you'd say Lake Hayaha is located up there in the Chaos Canyon. Yep, I think I even made that mistake in my first video. I think I called this the Loch Vale, and it's not. We've almost made it back down to the Loch Mills Junction, and then right there is where we're gonna split off onto the fire trail and take that down. And we've got a few afternoon clouds rolling in. Nothing that we have to worry about. But today's weather has been perfect. Perfect hiking weather. Couldn't ask for anything better. We've just hit the final corner coming down the fire trail, which has been incredibly nice and quiet. I love the fire trail so much. But it just now started sprinkling on us. All right, and we're back. Glacier Gorge Trailhead. It's just now 1:05. So that took us an hour and 25 minutes to come down from Embryo Lake. Took us 3 hours to get up to Sky Pond. Took us another hour to get from Sky Pond down to Embryo Lake. And then 1:25 from Embryo Lake back down here to the trailhead. And I'm not even sure what the elevation gain is on that. And I'm thinking the total mileage is maybe right around 9. I'm just guessing. But that was an epic hike. 4 lakes and 2 waterfalls. I highly recommend it. All right, Sky Pond and Embryo Lake.
Boom.
Boom, got it. And I think this is our bus. Probably going up to Bear Lake. All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed that hike. And until the next one, y'all, peace.